Hi, it's good to see you again. I'm glad you're here. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about uh, a mom frustration, or really just a frustration in general. I don't know that I would consider it a mom frustration or not, but I'm Melissa. I'm Mom on a Walk, and it's good to have you again. So I've noticed since school started that, and it's 2 days. The kids have been in school 2 days. So I've noticed that kids have a really hard time minding their own business. Like if two adults are talking, they're like, "What? What'd you say? What was that?" It's like, well, I could tell you, but it's not really for you. So you can go mind your own and go do you. And I don't know if I need to be more harsh or because what I'm doing doesn't seem to be working. And I know that it's a learned skill, but man, it is annoying. Kids constantly getting in between two adults talking. I had two people walking behind me earlier. I don't know how long that they were behind me because I don't have, I'm using my front-facing camera instead of my rear-facing camera. so I can't tell if someone comes up behind me like I used to be able to. So I don't know how long they'd been behind me. I was walking slow too. And then when I got done, I turned around and they were there. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so dumb. But it is what it is. It's fine. I'm also trying to work on getting over people seeing me record because I don't live in a vacuum. There are people that live here and use the parks that I go to. But anyway, yeah, kids just don't know how to mind their own business. And they also have a hard time when I'm helping someone else. Well, you helped so-and-so. Why can't you help me? Well, do you know how to do this? Yes. Well, then you don't need my help. They needed my help. Well, that's not fair. What do you mean it's not fair? Of course it's fair. Fair's giving people what they need, not necessarily giving everyone the same thing. But I don't know how to get my kids to understand that. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'm open to suggestions. But I guess there's adults that also don't know how to mind their own business. I was at a store and my youngest wanted a toy, and she'd missed her nap that day, and so she was just all ready, fit to be tied. And so we get in this store and she sees this doll and I tell her no, and she throws herself on the floor. She's kicking and screaming. So she's 3 or 4. There's no reasoning with a 3 or 4-year-old. So I pick her up and I leave my other kids with my mother-in-law, and I take the youngest out of the store. While we wait for my mother-in-law and other 3 kids, she's just distraught. And there were a couple other people in the store, but I removed her from the store so the other people didn't have to listen to her scream. But as my mother-in-law was checking out, this woman, older woman, tells her, if that were my kid, I would have busted their butt. And it's like, why? Like, she's already upset. Like, what would you achieve by busting her butt? Like, I just don't understand. But like, also, what was the point of telling my mother-in-law how you would handle the situation? Like, you can just choose to see the situation, acknowledge that you would handle it differently, and move on. Like, you don't have to comment about it. And like, you know, she also proceeded to like badmouth me to my mother-in-law, who I think stood up for me because like, she could recognize that that's not normally how my youngest acts. But I don't know. Like, you're allowed to just see a situation, disagree with it, and move on. You do not have to interject yourself. You can mind your own and move on. And I think with like video games and a lot of people being kind of disconnected with real life really makes this problem a lot worse these days. Like, it's not like it was when I was growing up. And like, I was taught, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all. But there are so many people that just cannot keep the mean comment to themselves. I don't understand it. Like, kids are brutal to one another, mine included. Like, they just say the most hurtful things to one another. It's like, why? Well, they did such and such to me. So, move on. They didn't hurt you. You just didn't like what they did. Move on. I don't know. The anonymous comments online and hiding behind a screen, I think, have really, really hurt people's communication skills. I think it's knocked us back a lot. And honestly, I don't know how to fix that. Like, all these people saying hurtful things online because they can hide behind a screen. I don't know. And people do not have thick enough skin for all the hurtful comments online. I feel like I have pretty thick skin, but man, you hear something enough and it's hard to ignore it. I really appreciate all of the kind words and encouragement I've received on this channel. It has been very good for my self-esteem. I keep waiting for the day that I'm going to start getting hateful comments. I know I can just delete them, but you know, someone felt inclined to say it. Well, theoretically, it hasn't happened yet, but hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully someone can just decide they don't like my content and move on. There's someone coming up here. That's okay. I think I'm about done anyway. But thanks for hanging with me, and hopefully you guys have some suggestions for me. Thanks. Bye. All right, we'll try this. Hi. Nope. Okay. I took this earlier, and I think it was pointed more towards the ground, like I chopped off part of my head. So, let's see. Hi. Why? I keep false starting. Alright. Okay. Am I connected now? I hope so. I guess we'll see. I'll have to record this a little bit and then... But for some reason my record button on my gimbal is not working. I'm kind of annoyed by it. But I don't like the DJI app because it doesn't record in stereo. So then I gotta do finagling to get my videos to work right. I'm a little frustrated with this gimbal. And I don't know if it's like user error. There we go. Nope. Why isn't it working? I don't know if it's user error or what. Probably. But I'm trying not to be super annoyed with it. One thing about recording in the evening is that the bugs are out. And they're so loud. They're so loud. At least it's not so brutally hot. My face is probably still red from walking earlier. Because I do my walk first and then I record the talking head part, so let's see.